Hey guys, we're back out on the range today. We're going to take a look at the Hornady A-Tip and whether or not it would make a viable hunting bullet. So we're going to be looking at the 176 grain Hornady A-Tip. And the way that we're going to do this, I wanted to look at it in comparison to an actual hunting bullet. So we're going to use the 180 grain SST from Hornady, just so that we can have a comparison of what an actual hunting bullet will do in comparison to the Hornady A-Tip. In my mind, if I have a bullet that's going to go long range, it's going to fly true, and it's going to hit pretty hard, why wouldn't I want to use it as a hunting bullet? So I thought a good way to do that would be to test it using ballistics gel. Okay, so we're going to shoot this through ballistics gel. I've got 4 big blocks of ballistics gel. 2 of them, they were actually sitting outside, and so they froze. So these are kind of a little messed up. Hopefully they're going to work for what we're trying to do. In front of that, I've taped a plate. We're going to try to shoot through the plate. My thought was that, and I know, so this isn't like all FBI approved and whatever. This is 10% ballistics gel. And I've never seen the FBI use a plate, but my thought was, what are both of these bullets going to do when they come in contact with something hard like, say, bone? So my thought was, okay, this would mimic shooting through a shoulder and then going through ballistics gel, and I want to see what these 2 different bullets do and how they might react on an animal, as an example. Okay, so we've got about 28 inches of ballistics gel deep. I don't know if that's going to catch everything, so just in case, I also put a moving blanket behind. Hopefully the combination of the plate, the ballistics gel, and the moving blanket will be enough to where we can actually catch these bullets and see what they look like after they've been fired. We're actually about 600 yards downrange, 600, 650. I'm gonna range it, but it should be right around between 600 and 650. And so that's obviously way farther. Well, I guess I shouldn't say obviously, but that's a lot farther of a shot than I would be comfortable taking. So this is like maximum. If it can do good damage at 600 yards, obviously it's going to do even better damage at 300 yards. And so that was my thought, to come way out, way beyond the limits of what I'd actually be comfortable taking a shot. Not that I don't think I could hit it, but what if it moves? Something like that, obviously. So we're going to try this at 600, and then we'll know 600 and in whether or not it's going to be an effective round for hunting. I'm shooting for the plate this time.
Okay, I'll turn my ear back on.
All right, so I probably should not have taken that shot because I hit it, yeah, but so I took the shot anyway, hit it, and then I was like, dang, that was kind of a waste because it's aiming that way. All right, guys, so as you probably saw, I guess one of the questions that I've always had is why aren't people shooting ballistics gel out at range? And maybe this is why. We were 620 yards down range, and once I got the ballistics gel in my sight, I realized that it was angled. It was angled at about 7 o'clock rather than, say, 6 o'clock, or like it was running like 7 to 1 instead of like 6 to noon. And so went ahead and took the shot anyway for whatever reason. Hopefully we're aimed a little bit better this time. Hopefully we're facing a little more 6 to 12, and we're going to give this another shot. Hopefully we'll catch this bullet. That other one just kind of cut through the corner, and who knows where it went. So we're going to try to shoot. Hopefully we're more 6 to 12 this time, and going to see if we can actually catch a bullet and take a look at it. Oh, might have been a little bit high. I'm gonna send another one down just in case. I think the plate's broken though, but send another one downrange. Just in case. Huh, I think that one might have skipped right off the top also. Send a third one. All right, that one looked okay. Let's go down and take a look. All right, guys, so it looks like we actually hit it all 3 times, which is good. We captured 3 bullets. I don't know if you can see the bullets. If you kind of, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do this, but here's one here. And then there's some shrapnel and stuff here. There's another track with the wound channel that I don't think you can see. And there's another one here that fragmented. This looks like a pretty good chunk. So let me, so that was the A-tip bullet. So let's, I'm gonna move some of these gel blocks around. That front one's pretty well mangled. So I'm gonna do some moving around so that we can catch the SST bullet. And probably what we're gonna have to do, I guess at the end of it, is we'll dig all these out and we'll kind of let you see what those bullets look like, and we can make a decision as to whether or not the A-tip is a good hunting bullet, especially in comparison to the SST. So let's get this stuff swapped around. We'll head back down range, shoot another one. I guess we probably won't shoot it 3 times this time, now that we know that we're hitting it good, and we'll wrap this one up. All right, so we're back up 620 yards up range. I'm gonna try the SST and get this video wrapped up. All right, let's go take a look. All right, guys, I can see the SST is in this block. We're gonna cut that out, and then we'll cut the others out. Oh dang, that's nice. High up. Okay, so that one is the SST. This one is the A-tip. I don't think that looks too bad, actually. This one, and my hand feels heavier. We should probably weigh them to see how much weight they actually retained. I think this one definitely retained quite a bit more weight. This one expanded pretty well, the A-tip. And then this one, so I think this is actually a combination of the other 2. It fragmented quite a bit, as you can see. I'm not sure if that's focusing. It's so bright out here I can't really see the screen. But I think that's a combination of 2. There's probably still more chunks in there. So it's kind of hard to say for sure. I feel like probably just sticking with the hunting bullet is probably best. I think that if you have A-tips and that's all you have for hunting, they're probably not bad. I think you're better off, or for me I should say, I'm better off just sticking with the hunting bullet if I have them. I'm running super dangerously low on these SSTs. I think I've only got probably 20 left. So hopefully some will come back out on the market soon. In this weight anyway. I've got quite a few ELDX, which I think is actually, for me, a better bullet. But anyway, so that's our video for today. I want to thank you guys as always for watching. I hope you got some good information out of this. I don't think that using an A-tip is a bad choice, but probably better off sticking with hunting bullets. They're made for two different purposes, and those guys that make these things, these bullets probably know what they're doing, so they're probably right when they say use hunting bullets for hunting and target bullets for target practice. So again, I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. No, you guys are still here. I'm glad that you're still here, because I actually wanted to share this rifle with you. You probably don't recognize this gun, but you've seen it before if you watched my pumpkin at a mile video. This is the Thompson Center. If you watch that video, you may remember, and I think I also put in the comments that there was actually an issue with this rifle when I was shooting that video, and I didn't know until afterwards. And so anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about why this rifle looks different, and kind of fill you in. I promised to eventually let you know. I believe in the comments I promised to let you know what happened with the rifle, the issue that I was having. So what had happened was, if you watch the video, you may remember that the first shot hit, I don't even know where, that probably hit like thousands or hundreds of yards short, because I had forgotten to dial my scope up. So the first shot, I had no idea where it went. I think if I remember the second shot, I dialed up, and I didn't see where that one went either. And then I think the third shot I saw, and it hit, if I remember correctly, about 4 MOA low. So I held another 4 MOA up, and I think the fourth shot hit another 4 MOA low. So I thought, well, okay, that's kind of weird. So I held another, if I'm remembering my holdovers right, I think I held up another 4 MOA, and I think that one went way high. And so I had 3 that were just super weird. I couldn't figure out what was going on with them. And then of course the 6th one ended up hitting the pumpkin, which is what our goal was. So when I got back home, I was trying to figure out why I had those 3 that just kind of went everywhere, that I couldn't figure out what was going on with them. And so I was going through the gun, and I noticed that the stock, the front bolt and the stock, was actually super loose, about ready to fall out. And so my stock was super loose. So I tightened up the stock, and I thought, okay, well, that was obviously my issue, why I was having those crazy elevation changes. So I tightened up the stock, went out to check my zero, and the first 2 shots hit, they were probably like a 1/10 of an inch group for the first 2, and then the third shot hit like 2 inches away, and I thought, wow, that's super weird. So I just decided to restart my group, and the next 3 was like a 3-inch group. And so I dialed the tuner brake pretty drastically. I think I turned it probably 5 or 6 clicks on the tuner brake, and I still had a huge group, like 3-inch group. And so I kind of fiddled with it, and I realized that there's no way that I could change this brake to change a 6/10 inch group into a 2.5, 3-inch group. And so I decided to send the scope in. This is the Arken Optics. I think you may remember in that video too, I was complaining a whole bunch about the scope and how blurry it was, it wouldn't focus and stuff. So long story short, the scope, I'm talking all kinds of junk about that Vortex scope. A lot of you recognize that it was a Vortex. So it actually turned out the scope was bad. So they warrantied it out for me. I've got that scope. I haven't put it on anything because I ordered another Arken, the SH4 Gen 2, and that's what's on here now. I had shot that Vortex before. I didn't like it as much as I like this one, but I also hadn't had that much trouble with the Vortex either. So Vortex looked at it. They said absolutely there was an internal issue, sent me a brand new scope under warranty. So like I said, I have nothing against those guys. I think they're a good company. They absolutely stood behind their product. Stuff happens. I mean, this is a 300 Win Mag. It's a lot of recoil. The Arkens have held up fine. I have no doubts that Vortex, it was just one of those goofy things. That's why they have a warranty. So anyway, I hit that pumpkin at a mile away with 6 shots with a loose stock and a bad scope. So I don't know when the scope went bad. Like I said, once I tightened up the stock, the first 2 bullets were so close, and then the third one was a crazy flyer. So I don't know if the scope went bad at that point. I don't know exactly what happened, but I thought it was strange, those 3 shots, that string of 3 just before I hit the pumpkin, that were kind of going all over. So I had a loose stock, had a bad scope, but I didn't change out the stock because of that. I thought I was going to reward the rifle for hitting that pumpkin at a mile. So I put a new stock on it that's adjustable. That's been really nice. I glass bedded it, and it's just shooting lights out. As you can tell, I had no issues, and I had no qualms about taking it out to 620 yards. I knew it would be on. I thought the first couple shots hit kind of high, but after looking at the gel, I don't think so. I think they hit right on. So yeah, it's shooting about right around 1/2-inch groups. So yeah, great rifle, super happy with it. Thanks for sticking around to talk about the rifle, and this time we're really going, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again.